comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko podcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we don't actually have that much Funko Pops to actually discuss about throughout the first set of June 2022 announcements, but there's still some pretty cool stuff to discuss about. But in this podcast, we will have a couple of segments to actually kind of kill the time as terms of this podcast. We will have our segment of What's the Haps that will kick off. And then we're actually going to be doing a recap about our experience this past weekend at Niagara Falls Comic-Con, which was a great time just to kind of start out with that. But I guess without further ado, we might as well kick off with our segment of What's the Haps, which obviously is the segment where we talk about what TV shows, movies, video games we've played throughout the week, anything we have done that life has brought to us. And like usual, we might as well kick off with none other than MD Shady. What's the Haps?
Alrighty, so I actually have a couple of things listed down for What's the Haps. I guess the first thing I'll start off with is games, because that has the least amount of things. So really the only actual video game I've been playing is the new WWE 2K22. It's a weird game. It's different from the other ones. It's kind of a little bit of a button masher type of a game, kind of like you have to put in like combos, kind of like Street Fighter to pull off the moves, which is an interesting take on a game. The showcase on there is actually really good so far. It's a Rey Mysterio showcase. I don't know if there's other showcases besides that once you're done his. But you start off and you do Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero at Halloween Havoc is the first match. And it's so well put together where it'll give you a prompt to like bring Eddie to the turnbuckle and then perform a grapple on him. And then as soon as you do that, it kicks into video footage of their actual match and then flips between the video game and the actual match. I've also been doing My Rise, which is basically your like story mode. And then of course I've been golfing. I've actually been playing some of the best golf that I've ever played in the last week or so. I don't know what happened, but something kind of just clicked and I've just been playing some damn good golf, honestly. For TV shows and movies, last night I went and saw Top Gun Maverick. I worked yesterday and then one of my coworkers had messaged me and asked me if I wanted to go see it. So I was like, yeah, I guess why not? And I'm very glad that I did go because it was a brilliant movie. And then for TV shows, of course, I finished volume 1 of season 4 of Stranger Things, and amazing, just an amazing series. I love Stranger Things so much, and I think they're doing a really good job with the way that they're pulling off season 4. And I've definitely been watching some like theories of what people think's going to go on in season 5 and also part 2 of season 4. It's pretty crazy. It's interesting to see different people's takes on this series. Just so great. I loved how all of the actors and actresses have performed. They've really done a great job. And then the last thing that I'll talk about for What's the Haps is the Orville, which I just recently started watching, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's made by Seth MacFarlane, the creator of American Dad and The Cleveland Show and Family Guy, of course. And it's basically Star Trek, but it also gives off Star Wars vibes. And it's pretty good. It's funny, which is a good take on a movie / show like that, where there's kind of some sexual jokes and other things like that. It's Seth MacFarlane comedy. You kind of have to expect that you're going to get some of that stuff, but I still have at least 2 seasons to watch. So that's awesome. So I guess that's pretty much what's been going on with me. So what's the haps with you, DK?
What's the haps with me? Well, I should mention that first off, you mentioned about Top Gun Maverick and seeing in theaters, and that reminded me I should go and order my Lightyear tickets, which I'm actually trying to do right now as we're doing this podcast, because I want to get that first ticket for that movie coming out next week. But other than that, so as I'm waiting for everything to load up here, yeah, I'll start off with games, because obviously there's only one game that I've been playing. And obviously, if you listen to What's the Haps every time we do this, I always mention about playing Fortnite, which brand new season just just started a Fortnite this past Saturday, or actually it would have been Sunday realistically. Saturday was the season finale, which I missed because I was at Niagara Falls Comic-Con, which we will give a recap on that in a little bit. The new season is great. I love the new setup and everything going on with it. The main skin to get in the battle pass is Darth Vader, which I am pumped about because I've been waiting for Darth Vader to be a skin on Fortnite since I started playing. So now that he's going to be a skin, I am going to be shredding more than I probably ever have on Fortnite to try to get that skin. I think I'm on page 2, I believe, of the battle pass. Probably will be page 3 by the time this podcast releases in a couple of days as of recording this. So yeah, it's very fun season. I like the different skins involved in the season so far. So it's been a great season of Fortnite so far, only having been out for like 3 days at this point. Like MD mentioned, Stranger Things 4 came out a few weeks ago at this point, and it was a great season, honestly. Great season so far because obviously it's divided into 2, and I actually don't know yet whether I would say that it's like my favorite season or it's like my second favorite, because I did really enjoy season 2 out of all the seasons. July 1st is volume 2, Canada Day, so I can't wait for that. Then there is the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus, which I actually watched the brand new episode this morning before getting ready for the podcast. And what a great episode. I mean, this series is just straight fire. And there are, I believe, 2 more episodes left in the series because there's only going to be 6, which I hate when Disney Plus does this. I wish they were like 10 episode seasons. Like, why do you have to do 6? And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for What's the Haps. I haven't been going to the gym as of late because I'm so busy with the YouTube channel. So I guess realistically, now we can move on to the NFCC Niagara Falls Comic-Con recap. And I don't exactly know how we would do this. Like, I don't know, maybe you want to just do this whole recap. And if I have anything to add, then I'll just add it. I feel like that would be the logical sense to go into there.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right, so NFCC 2022. Overall, I guess I'll go off with the overall first. A great time. It was really cool. So now I'll get down to the nitty gritty with it. So we get there and the parking is just ridiculous. We actually didn't even get to pull into the convention, and we go pretty much every year, and it's never been like this ever. One thing that I'll point out is that there was people there that you wouldn't normally see at a con, like just a type of people that wouldn't normally be at a con, kind of just walking around doing nothing, it really seemed like. So there was a ton of people. It took us almost 2 hours just to get into the building, which is definitely a first. The line went all the way around this building, and it's not a small building. It's pretty dang big. So yeah, a 2-hour line just to get in. And then we get in. First thing we do, we decide to go find Top Pops. We got to track down Top Pops, our good buddy Tristan over at Top Pops. And we find his booth. His parents were there and his brother, which was awesome. It's cool to see them always. He had a pretty good booth this time. He normally does. And we got to go spin his wheel and all that, which was awesome. And then as soon as we were done talking to Tristan, we needed to go find K-Dog and Fish. I'm sure a lot of you guys do know who K-Dog and Fish are. So we went over to their booth and they were actually doing a chase roulette. So I was a part of the chase roulette for the soda can of Silent Bob. And spoiler alert, I only got the common, but that was fine with me. You also got to pick either a shirt or one of their pint glasses for participating in that, which was really cool. And as I sat down at the table to do the chase roulette, somebody had said to me, "What's going on, MD Shady?" or something along the lines of that. And I was like, "Oh, cool. We're meeting someone who knows us." And it was actually Marsh Funko, which is a community member in K-Dog and Fish's kind of community that we all kind of chat in. So it was really cool to meet him in person. Also, I believe it was his dad recognized DK for wrestling, actually, which was pretty cool. And then the con itself was very busy, obviously. We definitely found some good stuff, some pops. We found some sodas. We were going to meet McFoley, but his line was pretty big. And I think at that point, from walking around through the con and also waiting 2 hours just to get in, I think we were kind of already fed up with waiting in lines. So we decided not to meet him. But JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, I don't even think I seen a single person go up to his table, which is kind of sad because I feel like JBL was like a big part of my childhood with WWE. But at the same time, knowing that he's kind of an asshole, I guess you could say, in real life and in the ring, I guess, I'm not surprised that really he did not have a ton of fans come up and meet him. And then we seen Santino Marella walking through the con, which was pretty cool to see him. We also seen Jeffrey from Fresh Prince walking through the parking lot while we were in line. So that was pretty cool to kind of be that close to a couple different people. We ate some food. Me and DK both got this hot dog, which was not that great for actually what it was. It could have definitely been a lot better. But I also had chicken and waffles, and it was expensive, but it was the best chicken I think I've ever had in my life. So that's kind of surprising from just a random like food vendor at a con that I could say that that was like the best chicken I've ever had. It was cool. We seen a lot of different people. We finally met Mike Fanton, Royal City Pop Guelph, and we are saddened to hear that he actually suffered from a stroke the next day. Apparently, he's in pretty good condition now, so we're wishing the best for him because it was great to finally meet him, and then that's just such terrible news to hear. We met Combo Collectibles. We all ended up going to a local restaurant to Niagara Falls. By all of us, I mean K-Dog and Fish, DK and I, and then a bunch of other members from the community. So we saw Marsh there. He was there. And then Combo Collectibles was also there. It was really cool to meet him. And we'll probably end up doing a video with him at some point, whether or not it's a mystery box battle or just featuring him on a podcast or something like that. But he was a pretty cool dude. It was good to have a few different conversations with him and just all the different people there. We handed out our stickers, which was awesome. So yeah, just a great experience, a really cool way to do Niagara Falls Comic Con, kind of different than what we normally do. So I don't know if DK has anything to add to that.
No, I think you pretty much summed it up. I would just probably repeat about how ridiculous that lineup was, about an hour and a half, and how expensive the food was, and how I regret getting that hot dog, and how I would have rather just ate that nice $20 pack of beef jerky instead of paying $9 for a hot dog, because man, that beef jerky was great. Holy crap. But yeah, I guess that would be the recap of Niagara Falls Comic Con. Can't wait to go next year. And hopefully this year we end up at a couple of more Comic Cons like Fan Expo Canada in August, at the end of August, I believe, in Toronto. Are you looking for great pop protectors? Then look no further than popbox.ca. They have a variety of 4-inch and 6-inch protectors in different quantities. Do you want to get 10 protectors, 20? You can get even up to 250 pop protectors over on popbox.ca. And also use our promo code of Funko Popcast for 10% off of your entire purchase of pop protectors. The code is going on until supplies last. So go get your pop protector needs now over on popbox.ca using our code of Funko Popcast to get 10% off.
And let me tell you guys, we're not just screwing around here. These are some great pop protectors. We own a multitude of these protectors. They are some of the best I've seen. Stop buying from EB Games. I'm not boycotting EB Games by any means, but their pop protectors are not as good. So again, use code of Funko Popcast for 10% off.
We might as well move on to the Funko Pop announcements for the first week of June. These range from June 1st up until June 6th, in which, kicking off June 1st, we got ourselves a brand new set of pops for the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, which we have ourselves Haja as Shri, which will be a Target exclusive, and Reva with lightsaber, which will be a Walmart exclusive. And these are expected to release as early as September 2022. On that same day, Hot Topic had announced an exclusive pop that will be going to Anime Expo of a Gentle Criminal and La Brava 2-pack from My Hero Academia, which this is expected to release on July 1st during the weekend of Anime Expo. Then on July 2nd, Funko had announced a set of pops for the upcoming DC Comics film Black Adam, which we got ourselves common pops of Black Adam with Energy, which will have a 1-in-6 glow-in-the-dark chase, Cyclone, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, Hawkman, Sabak, a Black Adam on Throne Pop Deluxe, and a Hawkman in Cruiser Pop Rides, along with exclusive pops of a glow-in-the-dark Black Adam, which will be going to Amazon. And we got ourselves a Hawkman in kind of like a battle pose, which will be going to Walmart. And these are expected to release as early as July 2022. On that same day, Funko had also announced a pop comic covers of Black Adam, which that's expected to release as early as August 2022. On that same day, McDonald's had announced their own exclusive 5-pack pop involving Scuba McNugget, Tennis McNugget, Fireman McNugget, Rockstar McNugget, and Cowboy McNugget, which this is available now on the Golden Arches Unlimited website, which is the McDonald's merchandise website. Then on June 3rd, Funko had announced a Flying Superman pop for the Justice League movie, which has a 1-in-6 glow-in-the-dark chase, and this will be exclusive to AAA anime, and this is expected to release as early as July 2022. Then on June 6th, Funko had announced a pop of Whitney Houston, which this is expected to release as early as August 2022. And last but not least, Star Trek had announced their own exclusive Funko Pop of Khan for the Star Trek II Wrath of Khan movie, in which this is available for pre-order now on the Star Trek shop website, and it's expected to release as early as February 2023. So kicking off with the Obi-Wan Kenobi pops, we got Taja, I'm pretty sure his name is, and then we got the new Reva. These are some cool pops. I remember these. Well, obviously I remember Reva, but especially the Target exclusive pop from the second episode, I believe, which I know if you guys have not watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, this may be a little bit of a spoiler, but this guy is kind of like a con artist Jedi. He's not actually a Jedi. He uses magnets and kind of tricks people into giving him money because he's trying to use the Force, but he actually doesn't, which I think is pretty funny. I never thought that would be a thing in the Star Wars universe, but anything could happen in Star Wars realistically. And it's cool that they made a pop for him. Nice detail as terms of the attire. And I love how he's holding the lightsaber also. And then we have the Reva pop, which this is so much better than the Reva pop we talked about last week on the podcast, I believe, where the lightsaber is ignited. A lot of people were complaining about the other Reva pop not having the lightsaber ignited, which I was thinking they're probably going to save it for another time. And they saved it for 1 week later. And this is really awesome. I love the way that the Inquisitor lightsabers are, where you kind of have the ring around the handle there of the lightsaber, and it's double-sided also. So that's really awesome. I think if you are going to get a pop of Reva, it is going to be this specific one that is the Walmart exclusive. Then we got ourselves the Gentle Criminal and La Brava 2-pack for My Hero Academia, which finally, I have been waiting for this pop to actually happen for a while there, because these were kind of one of the main villains of season 4, I believe. And I actually remember us doing a New York Comic-Con predictions video, and I actually predicted that there would be a Gentle Criminal and La Brava 2-pack. Unfortunately, that did not happen for that said New York Comic-Con, which I believe was last year. But finally, we have it. It's good to see these pops instead of, let's say, just revamps of already existing characters or just characters that don't appeal to me all that much. So it's really cool that especially they made these into a 2-pack, because it only makes sense. They're always together. They look great in Funko Pop form. La Brava's got the video camera in her hand with the cell phone in her hand, I believe. And then the Gentle Criminal wearing his purple attire. He's got the cane. This is a great 2-pack. It's definitely one of the better My Hero Academia pops we have gotten so far in 2022. Then we have the Black Adam Funko Pops, which I'm a little bit excited for the movie. These look pretty decent. And the thing that I'm glad that Funko did is that originally on the glam shot that we are looking at is that the common Black Adam, where he's kind of levitating there, originally had a glow in the dark chase where the lightning bolt is all that's glow in the dark, but they had since switched the glam shot where there will not be a chase for that, which I'm glad, because I thought it was a stupid idea for Funko to essentially make a glow-in-the-dark chase of that common pop with just the lightning bolt, but then they already have an Amazon exclusive glow-in-the-dark pop where it's the lightning bolt, and then you also have the eye. So it's like, what's even the point of having two glow-in-the-dark pops where it's essentially almost the same exact pop, except one has glowing eyes and one doesn't have glowing eyes. I thought that was stupid. So good thing that that's not actually a thing that's happening and that it's only that common pop, which I'm fine with. And I'm especially fine with the idea of then just having the glow-in-the-dark chase for the one with the energy, because that definitely makes sense. We see that a lot with Funko Pops, whether it's in like superhero movies or even anime pops we've been seeing a lot of as of late. So it's cool that they did that with that. The other common pops are pretty sweet, especially the Dr. Fate. I think people have been talking about in the comment section below on Instagram. The other set of common pops are really cool. The Hawkman has a really cool design. And then the exclusive pops, like I mentioned earlier, the glow in the dark one, just this version is sweet with like the yellow glowing eyes and then the chest piece there, or not the chest piece, but the logo there on the chest of Black Adam looks really, really cool when it's glow in the dark. I'm excited to kind of see how this actually looks in person. And then the new Hawkman is also pretty decent. I mean, it's in a little bit of a, I don't know how to explain the pose. Like it looks like it's in a flying pose, ready to use the weapon that he has in his hands, but it doesn't look entirely different to the common Hawkman pop. Then we got ourselves the pop comic covers of Black Adam, which I think this is pretty decent. I like how this pop is going to be glow in the dark. It definitely makes sense. You already see in the cover how that lightning energy kind of just shines and how it's super bright within the cover. So it only makes sense to put the black light to it. You see that lightning energy. I'm pretty sure the eyes and obviously the lightning bolt logo on the chest there is also going to glow in the dark. I think that this is going to be one of the better pop comic covers that Funko has made thus far. Then we have ourselves the 5-pack of McDonald's pops, the Scuba, Tennis, Fireman, Rockstar, and Cowboy McNuggets. This is meh. Now, I know that Funko did the 5-pack involving Ronald McDonald, Hamburglar, Officer Big Mac, Grimace, and then one character that for some reason I can't remember off the top of my head, but that was cool to have as a 5-pack because there's people out there that would want all 5 of those mascots per se in a 5-pack instead of getting the 5 singular pops. But when it comes to this 5-pack, it's a little bit meh for 2 reasons. First off, the Funko Pops are tiny because they are McNuggets. They're pretty much the same size as a Pokemon Funko Pop. So to slap these in a 5-pack, and then I'm pretty sure McDonald's is also charging 50 US for this 5-pack, is a little bit ridiculous because they're tiny pops. And these are already also pops, which this brings to my second point on how these are pretty much clearance pops. There's a lot of places that have been putting these pops on clearance because they haven't been really selling all that well. So just to slap these in a 5-pack and then, ooh, you get a Golden Arches Unlimited sticker. It's a little bit meh. Then we have the Superman pop from Justice League with the glow-in-the-dark chase, which this is a pretty decent pop. I like the flying pose here, and I do like the way they have the glow-in-the-dark chase where essentially you have the red eyes. I think that definitely makes sense. And I wonder, it kind of looks like also that part of the Superman logo also glows in the dark, but I wouldn't be mad if that wasn't the case because it just makes sense for the eyes to be glow in the dark. We have ourselves the Whitney Houston pop, which this is okay. I mean, we've already had, what is it? I think 3 variants of Whitney Houston already because we've had a regular one, a diamond collection of that regular one, and then there was that Funko Shop exclusive that recently released. Now this is the 4th one. And I think from what I've seen in comments, this is actually Whitney Houston on like the debut cover of her album, I believe. I could be wrong, but I thought I read that in the comments on Instagram. And then we got ourselves the Con Pop from Star Trek. And I was going to talk about this pop a few weeks ago on the pod because at the time, Star Trek was actually doing a contest on their website where fans actually got to vote on the design of the Funko Pop. And there was this one. And then there was the other one that I thought was actually going to win, which had like a disfigured face on the one side. And I thought that looked a bit better. You guys could probably check it out on Google at this point of what that pop looked like at that point. And I thought that was going to win because I thought that looked pretty decent, but this one ended up winning, which I think this is pretty decent. I guess it's very different from the other Star Trek Funko Pops that we have gotten. It's not another Spock. It's not another Captain Kirk. I think we've only gotten one variant of Khan, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I know there hasn't been that many variants of Khan, I believe.
Okay, so starting off with the new Obi-Wan pops. These are pretty decent. I think that we needed I'm talking about the Walmart exclusive. We needed a version like this. The first one, I didn't really understand why it didn't have the lightsaber ignited, but now it is. And this looks pretty great. I definitely like the way that they've executed this pop. I think the hair looks really cool. The pose is decent. And then, of course, having that lightsaber is finally the detail needed for this pop. And then the Target exclusive, this is pretty cool as well. I was wondering if we were going to get a pop of this character, and I think that the way that they've done it is pretty decent. I haven't watched the fourth episode yet, but I'm interested to see where this line goes. I know that we're going to be getting obviously a lot more pops for it. It's Star Wars and it's Obi-Wan. There's a lot of hype with this show right now. So these are two different exclusives, and I think they did a good job with these. And then we have the Gentle Criminal and La Brava 2-pack for My Hero Academia. And this is a pretty cool 2-pack. I like how both these pops look. I haven't seen season 4, so I don't know of these characters, but I do like that the way the pops are. I think that they look good in a 2-pack as well. And judging by what DK said about these characters, it doesn't really make sense to have them as singular pops. So I think this is a good move by Funko of having a 2-pack of these two characters. And I could see this selling pretty well. It's a AAA anime exclusive. Is that what it is? Anime Expo. Okay. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense as well. So this is definitely a sweet 2-pack. I can see this probably rising in value fairly quickly. And then we have the Black Adam pops, and this is a really nice set of common pops as well as the exclusives. But with the common pops, I'm glad that the first pop that you see doesn't have that glow chase. I think that there's just not enough to make it worthwhile of making it a glow chase, especially looking at it in a like business standpoint where they have to print off the glow chase stickers and slap them on all the boxes. It's just cost that is unnecessary for a pop that of course would hold more value than the common. And then you have the other one with the like blue lightning energy, and that one makes sense to be glow in the dark, so I'm glad that there's a glow in the dark chase for that. Both pretty good looking pops. The rest of the common wave also looks good. Like this is one of the best common waves for pops that we've seen, especially for DC. I think that the Black Adam on the throne is definitely a pretty cool pop. I don't think that there's like a whole lot going on with it, but it does look good. And then you have the exclusives, and here is now why we should see a glow in the dark version of this pop, because I believe it's the exact same pop besides the eye color change with the Amazon exclusive, and then it's glow in the dark, and that gives it a little bit more reason because the eyes are also glow in the dark. And then the Walmart exclusive Hawkman, I believe his name is really cool. I really enjoy this. I like it better than the common just because the common is decent as well. I mean, there's a lot of different details going on with him, but I like the pose of this Walmart exclusive. I kind of like how it seems to be a little bit more compressed with the wings, how they're kind of folded in. So it could definitely fit in a normal size pop box, which is great. And I don't know, there's something about that. I think it's probably my favorite pop from this set. And then we have the Black Adam pop comic book covers, and this is pretty cool. I think that they did a decent job on this. The cover itself is very interesting. There's kind of a lot of energy going on with it. So I think that the way they executed the actual pop is pretty good. The pose is almost exactly the same. And yeah, I think it translated well. And it's glow in the dark, which is definitely a cool addition to that, especially with all the like lightning energy going on. Then we have the McDonald's 5-pack of the McNuggets, and this is okay. DK summed it up pretty well, saying how people liked the original 5-pack because it's 5 of like the most iconic characters from McDonald's. But then you have the McNuggets, which a lot of people weren't actually too hyped about to begin with, which I personally do really enjoy the McNuggets. But this 5-pack is kind of unnecessary, but my biggest gripe with it is that I don't know if it's subject to change or not, but the way that they have them positioned in the box is not the way that they were released. Like looking over at my set 111 through 115, it's cowboy, fireman, rock star, tennis, and then the scuba. And then here it's almost backwards and even a little bit screwed up in the middle with the scuba, tennis, fireman, rock star, cowboy. So I don't know why they changed the position from how they were released for the singular pops. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think I'll get this. I never got the 5-pack because I just didn't really see a need to get it. I do want to get the sticker, kind of, but I don't know if getting a 5-pack like this just justifies getting just that sticker. And then we have the AAA anime exclusive Superman with the glow-in-the-dark chase from Justice League. And this is a pretty decent pop. I actually really enjoy this. I think that the comic itself is pretty good. I like the pose. It looks good. It's very Superman. And then you have the Golden Dark Chase, which is okay. You got the red eyes, which kind of makes sense because like the lasers or whatever. And then it looks like maybe his logo on his chest might also be glow in the dark, but I don't think that the glow on this is going to be very good at all. Then we have the new Whitney Houston pop, and this is a pretty decent looking pop, but I think it would have been better maybe if it was the first Whitney Houston pop. We have seen a few in the past, but this looks good because you have like the sitting pose on the chair, which is great. And this is another one of those cases where if you would have looked at this, I don't know, more than 5 years, I guess 6 or 7 years ago, and see how far Funko has come. This is just a great pop, and I don't think they could have pulled this off very well, like I said, like 6 years ago. And then lastly, we have the con pop for Star Trek. And this is an okay looking pop. It's definitely a refreshing kind of Star Trek pop. We're so used to seeing, like DK said, your Captain Kirk's, your Spock's, your Captain Picard pops, and then seeing different variations of them sitting on their chair or whatever. So this is cool. I don't remember exactly what the first con pop looks like. I think there was only one other one, but this one looks cool, and I'm definitely going to have to look up what that other variation looked like that DK was talking about that the fans could kind of vote on.
Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this week's edition of a Funko Popcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let us know what was your favorite pop that was discussed about on today's podcast. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at a Funko Popcast. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this week's podcast. And we hope to see you guys next week on an episode of a Funko Popcast. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
I want to dance with somebody. Peace in, peace out.